Hey, everybody, it's David Duford here at Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense Medicare and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. This is our continuation of our one-on-one consultation series where I speak with agents like you guys out there in my audience to help them answer their burning questions related to anything about selling insurance, marketing for insurance, and anything that falls under that gamut. So today I've got Felicia on the phone call line. Felicia, can you say hello today?
Yes. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon.
Thanks for being here, Felicia. So why don't you jump in and kind of tell us why you decided to be on the call today and what questions you got, and then I'll do what I can to help.
Yes, I like to improve on my sales and marketing. I've been doing insurance for the past 6 years, but I know I can do way better, and I'm looking for a way to market to my ideal clients. And I am here to ask for your expertise on this and learn how to approach that.
Okay, perfect. So just kind of start somewhere in there as far as whatever specific question you want to start with, and then let's go from there.
And what is the best way of marketing to my ideal clients? How do I find who is my ideal client? And that's number one question. Number two, how do I market? What is the most effective way of marketing to this ideal client for larger cases?
Right. Okay. So who is, if you can describe the best you can, who is your ideal insurance prospect?
I mean, I do very well with certain ethnicities, and also I would say maybe business owners, but I'm not sure. But small businesses, that's what I like to target. Here and there, I've had people in small businesses, but most of our people are, not in that category. And I don't know what's the most effective way of marketing to that niche. I would like to at least start somewhere.
Okay. So starting with business owners is something you're saying you'd like to do if you could get in front of them more. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, like a small businesses, like anywhere from 3-4 employees all the way to under 50, because we cannot go larger than that, I think.
What are you selling?
It's mainly health insurance and supplemental, also Medicare. We do final expense, life insurance, retirement planning. It's a combination of those. I mean, in our book of business, you see any one of those, policies. But I like to focus on one or two things because I don't think I'll be great at everything. And honestly, it becomes so overwhelming knowing about everything.
Sure does. Yeah, I agree.
It's a lot of information.
So is there a certain type of small business, like a certain industry that you prefer to work, or are you open to anything? Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't have anything particular in mind.
Okay.
That's why I'm just trying to consult with you to see what do you think. I mean, I've been in business for 6 years. I've been doing good, but I know I can do way better than good. And it's very frustrating because I don't know how to go about it.
Sure. And what's your number one favorite product to sell? I mean, if you could sell it, what would you want to sell if it was the only product you could sell?
Life insurance.
Any type of life insurance that you'd like to sell over another?
Like retirement planning, something to, something permanent policies, because I don't want it to expire, after certain number of years for the customer.
Sure. So something like an IUL?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That they get also some benefits from it, some cash value.
Okay. Perfect. So, small business owners.
Yes.
one product strategy ideally would be life insurance, something along the way of a living benefit product that's permanent. It's kind of what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I think that market, it's funny, you and I are talking about this today because every Friday I sit down and I create my videos for the following couple of weeks. One of the topics I talked about was small business prospecting. And I said in the video, if I wasn't neck deep in the senior market, I would absolutely be in business selling insurance to business owners because there's so many opportunities to help these people out. They usually make good incomes. They're not really planning as well as they should. They're so entwined in their business that they never slow down enough to think about, well, I need to be prepared if I retire or God forbid I die, what happens to my family, my business. And many times if you prospect them the right way, they'll give you 30 seconds to tell them exactly what you have to tell them. And many times business owners are straight shooters. They'll tell you exactly in return what they think. So if it's a refreshing market to target, they're not targeted that often. And because of their incomes, they make really good prospects. And many a times too, Felicia, as you prospect the small business market, small businesses become large businesses. And business owners work with people they trust. And if you can create that first sale, there's ample opportunity for bigger and better sale opportunities, maybe buy-sell arrangements, estate planning, employee benefits, voluntary payroll deduct. So I think the idea, first of all, of targeting businesses is absolutely intelligent. It's smart. It's definitely a strong play. And I think that you're smart too by wanting to focus on one product. Doing everything is a good way to be overwhelmed, as sounds like you already know from first-hand experience. So here's what I would say. First of all, what's your thoughts on cold calling? Just like showing up inside of a person's business and talking to them. What do you think? Just initial reaction to that?
Well, I don't like that, David. Honestly, I don't cold call. Whomever comes to me is from referral or from they come to our office, but it's a very reactive business that I'm running because I don't have a system.
Right.
I have no system for marketing, which is terrible. So that's why I'm trying to find a way to go and really start working you know what I mean?
Why don't you like the idea of cold calling? And this is nothing judgy here. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on it.
Well, see, because I have to filter, David, and where I am in my life right now, honestly, I just have to be very effective in my work because that's for somebody who filters people and they say, yes, no, come back tomorrow. I have passed that stage. So I'm looking for a system where I just have to, where I have to attract the right people with a better system where they find myself. Somehow that I can show because I really care for people. I'm a very heart-centered entrepreneur. I really want to do something for people. I really want to make a difference. That's my intention. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have problem selling. Do you see that? I don't have a problem with that but I don't have the proper marketing. I don't have a proper approach. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. And like I said, I'm trying to remember the purpose of this for me is to have you leave here with an idea of what you can do and have a plan. And so I'm asking you several questions here to kind of isolate out what you're willing to do and what you're not, and then planning around that. If there was a way to get in front of business owners, and a lot of them, and it required you cold calling, would you do that or wouldn't you do that? And there's no right answer.
If it is really really proper leads, I would do that because I don't have time to waste, David. I have to be very effective in my day. I have 2 kids, my hands are totally full and my assistants are gone. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have to be doing it very effective and efficient way of doing my work. Do you see that? If the leads are proper, if I know this guy is looking for something and he needs my help, okay, I call him. But if he's
Okay.
just like, he's not interested and he says, call me next year, maybe
Sure.
I will answer the phone. You know what I mean? I've done that before.
So what if you don't want, so walking in to somebody unannounced, not going to do that, correct?
Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. How about using a system where you could preset appointments, where you just run presentations with people who maybe are a little bit interested. Maybe they don't want to buy. We don't know that until you show up and fact find and help them. That ultimately is your responsibility. But what if you could have preset appointments where you go in and talk about insurance with business owners?
Yeah, that sounds very good.
Okay, so let's work with that here, okay? Because I think this is equally viable. So just to let you kind of know, I at a point in my career, I did have a real job. I sold for a company called Airmark, and the way that they were prospecting, and they still do to this day to a large extent, is they either cold call on the phone or they cold call face to face. And business owners are very welcoming if you bring something of interest to them that might positively help their business. Now, I always thought it was funny when I cold called how much of a simple process it was to cold call. It was time consuming. But I always thought, like, this is something that you could hire somebody for a low price to go set your appointments for you. So that all you would do as a rep working for the company is run the appointments, to fact find, to uncover opportunity, and to convince the person to buy. So what I think might be a good idea for you is to take the part that you don't want to do, which is the cold calling, and hire somebody to do it. There is a lot of people who, for a low fee, will call on small business owners for you, and you help them develop a pitch around a particular type of product, and basically set an appointment for you to show up, introduce yourself, and show them how the product works. You can hire people on a website called Upwork.com, either locally here or even offshore in the Philippines, for example. You can hire really good people for $5 an hour to call for you. Very good English skills, know how to dial on the phone, and they can set your appointments up for you pretty easily. And yes, it costs you something, but it's an investment in the thing that you don't want to do, which is show up unannounced, which that does work too. And then that way, maybe, you have a script where if you want to sell IULs, it's something like, hey, my name is David Duford. Hey, I'm calling because we help people. I don't sell IULs, so I don't know what the value proposition is. We help people, business owners like you, with retirement concerns in a way that, you'll never lose money or something. I don't know. You'd have to work that out. We're going to be in your area tomorrow. What if we could stop by at 10 o'clock, or would 2 work better? Just a very simple script like that, and teach that to the person, and then fill your schedule up for you. Just set all the appointments for you. So you wake up the next morning and you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 appointments to these small business owners, and you've got an hour to go there and pitch them. Sure, some of them aren't going to buy, but you only need to sell a handful of IOLs a week to make a lot of money. So, those are pretty good policies if you can find the right buyers. What's your thoughts on that approach?
It sounds very good, but do you think such a thing can be done through Zoom, or it has to be done face to face?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean, there's a lot of business sales now being done over Zoom.
Or invite them to come to our office. We have a local office in San Jose.
I don't know if that would work as well.
Okay.
I mean, just because there's no existing relationship, a lot of these sales require you to show up at their premises because they're going to be busy working. Business owners are always busy. They're the hardest people to pin down. and it's more in your favor if you can just show up and talk to them. I think that's what I'd recommend. Zoom, I don't know if maybe Zoom would work. I'm sure there are companies that are making Zoom work in this kind of capacity. A phone call would work, doing a phone sale consult, I think would be more accessible for most people. I don't know. That's something that you would have to test out for yourself using the same system as when you're booking the appointment. You're going to book it on a Zoom-based appointment, see how many people take that or they don't. Do a phone call appointment or a face-to-face. That would be something I would play around with to see what the opinion of it is. But I can tell you this, at the end of the day, showing up in person at their place of business is going to have the highest success out of all of this with this kind of strategy.
Well, thank you for that, David. Where do we find these leads? Where do we find people that are looking? I mean, how do we know somebody's looking, or from where is a proper source?
Sure.
Yeah.
You get the white pages and you dial them. I mean, you're hiring the person to create the lead for you. The lead is the appointment. Okay. You're not buying a lead. You're not sending a mail piece out. You're not doing an online ad. You could do all this, but if we're going to keep it simple and we just want to run of a bunch of appointments without a huge expense, the best thing to do is hire the caller, locally or offshored, pay them whatever the wage is, hand them a list or go on white pages or go on Google or Google Maps even and start clicking through the businesses and dialing. And I'm sure there's a more intelligent way to do it, but it can be done something like that. And just dial through the names, set appointments with people who agree with it, and you can teach them to do all this stuff for you to uncover where the opportunities are. That's how I would do it, to keep it simple.
How about social marketing, David? Sorry to interrupt you. Sure. Social marketing like Facebook or Instagram, is that, I mean, I have some marketing money that is reserved already for this purpose, but I just want to know what's the most effective way of approaching this niche. If I want to invest in some leads or some marketing, what's the best way to do that?
I mean, I think personally, the problem you have is you don't have anybody to talk to, and you don't have a business unless you have leads and people that are willing to talk to you. And for me, the best solution is the easiest, that goes from point A to point B. And if you don't have people to talk to, you're out. So for me, I have nothing wrong with the social media strategy. I think you should do that. But to me, a social media strategy is a long haul strategy. It's not an immediate result strategy.
Oh, I see.
It should be supplementary. If you're doing an organic type of posting, that kind of stuff, it doesn't happen overnight for most people that I'm buried in business and leads because of a few posts I put on Facebook or Instagram. It might get that way in a couple of years. And I can say that because essentially this YouTube channel that y'all are watching out there is essentially, I did that for this space and I didn't get immediate results. It took me a year or two before I really started getting traction. So social media is great. It just doesn't happen instantly. But what can happen instantly is picking the phone up and asking somebody if they're interested, So to me, that's the fastest way to solve this problem. I think you should talk on your social media about the kind of problems you solve, the things they should be concerned about, maybe take testimonials from people that you've helped, that you've closed business on, put it on the channel, engage in local groups where business owners might be, provide useful information to kind of create a name for yourself. Like all of this is good, but it's long-term. What matters right now is we got to make you money and we need the easiest method to do it. Picking the phone up or hiring somebody to pick the phone up and setting real basic appointments is a great way to just create something from nothing quickly.
I see. Okay. Well, fantastic. Does your company provide any leads, or do they have any provider of leads for like a small businesses or any sources for that?
No, I wish we, it's funny. I'm a final expense guy. And we recruit agents to final expense, Medicare, and annuities in the senior market. One of the things in my business, I have this following on YouTube and online. And a lot of people like you come to me and they're interested in something else like small business sales or term sales or something. And I'm always open for somebody that's got a system that wants to duplicate it. I just don't have anybody in this regard. The small business field is fantastic. The business, selling to business people is wonderful, but I don't have a system to get you in front of, besides what I said on a cold call basis. I don't have a lead generation system to get you in front of people. I've never seen anything that's like Final Expense where it's duplicatable. I've heard of people who do it through referral and networking, et cetera, but not like Final Expense where it's like you buy these leads, you say the script, and then you go run appointments. That just doesn't exist.
Okay.
For as far as I know, it might exist out there. I just never seen it.
All right. Thank you for that.
Sure. So any last questions here as we wrap this up?
So the automated system that you guys emailed us from one of the emails that is, for automation doesn't apply to this category of people.
No, that's more the set, sell, show, or show, set, sell system. That's for Final Expense mortgage protection, and I think just recruiting agents. But it's specific to that product. It wouldn't work for per se, business owners.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, David. If I want a further consultation with you, I can set up an appointment, about this later.
Yeah, just shoot me an email.
If I have more questions, yeah.
You shoot me an email going forward. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, David.
Okay. Yep. Felicia, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Yep,
Take
you
care.
too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.